welcome back to the tutorial. So for this tutorial, it's just going to be how you to set up the layout in a way that when you print it, it's kind of have a very nice presentation. So to first of all do that, you have to go to the geoprocessing, sorry, the catalog. So when you come to the catalog, you notice we have a layout section here. So these are the layout section I've done initially, but to create a new one, just right click on it and just so it's going to bring you to a page where you have to select the different sizes that you want. It depends on the size of your map. So most likely you might want to go for the letter, um, which is just the common A4 paper that we have. So the way you arrange your layout is it's kind of just also important because it makes everything easy. The placement of the map is very, very important as well. So what I usually do is to use what we call it's called the support guidelines. They're just, all these are rulers, right? So you can have some sort of margins just to control how much you want. So what I usually do is just to bring it close to this and just click on this. So you right click on this, then you click on hard guide. So given that, you can also come to this side as well, and then you click on this one just like similar to the one you clicked initially. So you can see we have the guide. Sometimes you can also go more than that. Um, yeah, so sometimes you can also go way more than that. So just for you to know, it has to be of the same scale across all the hedges. So that is important. You're gonna do the same for this as well. So you just click on Add Guide. So this Add Guide is gonna help me in placing my map. So now to place a map, what you do is just to click on Map Frame, and then you can click on the map. So when you click on the map, now it's now left to you to now show the extent of it. So you can look at the diagonals. So you can shift this one back to where we picked it from. So you can see that this is actually perfectly overlaid within the section that I have created. So that is the point of using the hard guidelines. And it's also very easy to remove. You can just right click it and just say remove guides, it goes away. But I like to always have it in my map just because why not? So now that you have the map overlaid, you can see that you cannot really do much. The only thing you can do is just to mistakenly like remove it from the sections that away from the margin you've created. So what you want to do is only right click and click on activate. So when you click on activate, it's now in the map view. So you can work with different, say different scale that you want. Now to use a particular scale, let's say you want to maintain uniformity in how you view it across other layouts. So you can just come here and you can make it fixed. You can have probably like a 10,000, 1 to 1,000, 10,000. Let's say this is what you want. And once you're done with that, you can just get out of the layout and then you're back. Now you're back to this. So you can see that when you zoom in and zoom out, you only zoom in the layout, not the exact map. So this is exactly what you do. Now, what you probably see us doing, very similar to what we've done before, is to see like, we like to zoom out some of the portion of the map and then overlay it on the layout. So to do that essentially is to create a new so you come to insert, so you're still creating another map frame, but this time around, you just want to create it anywhere along this path. So you wait for a few seconds and then it comes up. So to work on it, you have to first of all activate it. Now, when you activate it, you can zoom to any point you want. If you want to be much more perfect, you can also walk around with this scale. Let's say we want to go to like 1 to 4,500. So that is the scale we are using. So it's already 1 to 500, so you can just come to this, okay? Now, once you're done, you go out of that. Now you can see that we have a portion of this, but sometimes you also have to like reference where you're actually picking it from. And that is the point of what we call the extend frame. So to do the extend frame, what you're going to do is first of all, click on the initial layout, initial map. So when you do that, you just come to the extent indicator. Okay, so the X indicator realizes that one of its parts have actually been zoomed into, and that is actually there. So when you click on it, you can see it automatically references the rectangular line. Now, again, if you want to change the color of any of these, you always use what we call the symbology. Now, say for example, you want to make this black, green for whatever reason, what you do, okay, we are not changing the name, is to go to the properties. And when you come to the properties, you can see the symbol, right? You can just double click on the symbol, and then you can say you can change it to red. You can also increase the number of, you can see how it changes in this box. So you click on apply. Now, for uniformity, it's also very important you also change the outline of these to red. So to do that, you just right click on it. The moment you right click on it, it changes in the element icon, and then you can come to this. Um, so this is giving you the border. You can use the exact same color, and you can as well just make it a little bit thicker than the extended frame, so you can see like it changes immediately. So that is exactly how you work on that for the different zoom level. Another one you can do is also to add the legend. So you can play around with different legends, but I like to use the legend 4. Um, so what Legends will definitely do for you is to bring in all the things that you have in your map. Now, in this map, the only information I have is the GCP information. Now, to go to the legend, you can see that the moment I created it, it pops up right on the content plane. So what you can do here is go to the properties of it. Okay. Um, it's not showing. Yeah. Now you can see like we have the properties of it, right? So we have the line. I do not want to show the line. Um, I do not want to show the GCPs. I do not want to show the priority level because I didn't create it in this tutorial. What I just wanted to show is a GCP tutorial. You can see that it's showing right now, but it's not the best. Um, so what I'm going to do is just to click on this and click on the properties of it. You can see now that the layer name is not, you can decide to show the layer name or not. So when I show the layer name, it's have the GCP tutorial on top and also the name of these particular point features, but it's not necessary, so I just remove it. Okay. So let me see what else you can do. You can change the symbology like default, horizontal, vertical. You can always play around with that. You can also click on this and record just to show how it works. Um, but those are for the symbols, right? So you can go back to this, to the legend level. So this looks at the global level of it, and then you can work with the color. So this, for example, is the background. It's currently showing no color, but we like to always use white. You can also increase the extent of it just by looking at the Y, and you can work on this as well. So that will help you in ensuring the legend, right? So I think there's another way you can show, you can actually let the legend show itself. Um, so because right now the legend is not showing, so we can come here, we say it's visible, okay? Yeah, so let's show the title. Now you can see that the title shows perfectly here. So that is a way to go around it, but if you do not want it to show, you can just remove it. Also, if you want to change the legend, you can just say title, you can as well just change that. Um, it should change to title based on that. Right, so that is something let me return it back. So that is something you can do as regard this. So now you can strategically place it anywhere you want on the map. And also what we also had is the north arrow. We mostly go for the second one. You can just place it anywhere. As you can see, it's also requires some changing of the background color. So to change that, you just come to this and you can see the background color that you can turn to white. And if you want it to have some space in the X and Y direction, you can always add some space to it. Now, the same also goes for the scale. So the scale is another very important one. So it depends on which you can choose whatever scale you want, the imperial or the metric, but you can use both as well, like we always do. So using the scale, I clicked on first of all the imperial. You can see most of them would always be empty at first. There will be no color for that for the first one, and then you can increase the margin for the X and Y. And again, you can also come back to the legend, the scale again and click something of the same, but you probably want to put it under it, um, and then you want to change the color to white and also just one and one. Now, the beautiful thing about this is it is really dynamic. If you do not want 0.3, you can always increase it. Let's say, for example, the kilometer is probably too much. So what you come to is come to the option part and then you want to change it to meters. Okay, so it automatically changes to meter. You say, for example, you want to use 500, you just click changing it. Now, this is good. Now, if you want to change the text from meters to just ham, you can as well do the same thing. Let's say, for example, this is in miles. You probably want to change the miles to feet. You can as well do the same thing. And you want to limit to 1,000 feet. It's also something you can do, say 1,200. And if you want to change it to FT, it's also very much possible. Okay, so you can just like adjust it. Let's say let's stop it at 1.5 and see. Okay, looks like it's hard to achieve 1.5. And I don't have the patience. Yeah, we can just leave it at this level. You can drag this a little bit up. Okay, and just give this one a little bit of room as well. Yeah, so that is essentially how we create that. So say for example, you want to share, you just click on share. When you go to the share icon, okay, so you click on share. Now we want to share it as a file. You can say the print layout. No, I think we actually look for the export layout. Yeah, so this is what we use. You can choose any file location you want. We always use 600 DPI, the dot pixel per inch or something like that, and then you can just export. So it saves your file as a PNG file with very high quality. So that comes to the end of this tutorial. If you have questions, just let me know. Thank you.